this is the Dragon's Well where we sock, flip, flop, flop. You know what I'm saying?
Flop.
Maverick, bring me my stretchy pants. It's time.
Your stretchy pants.
My stretchy pants. Real men sometimes they wear stretchy pants to record at the Dragon's Well. Welcome back to the Dragon's Well, where we wear stretchy pants.
Stretchy
Dude,
pants and a cup of coffee.
dude, I'm telling you, after coming off this diet, I am in grave need of some stretchy pants.
Oh, diet got
Boy.
you got you adding calories, huh?
Yeah. Hey, now we skipped adding. Dude, this ain't second grade no more. We out there straight up multiplying. We jumped a few procedures here. You know,
That's funny.
when we were subtracted and divided. Now, hey, the only thing splitting is that chip bag, dude. You know what I'm saying? But anyways,
but not your pants because they're stretchy pants.
Because they are the stretchy pants.
Stretchy pants.
Real men wear stretchy pants at the well.
Blade like stretchy pants.
Blade does indeed like stretchy. Blade Wesley no Snipes.
No snipes.
Not anymore. Anyways,
not anymore.
Welcome back to Dragon's Well. I am one of your hosts, Sprites. I'm joined with me, my good pal, my good friend, Maverick. How is it going, Maverick?
Man, it is great. We talk all the time about all these like things that we have, and I think I added job number 6 to my list. I went from being in college to teaching at college, and so
yeah, it's pretty exciting.
I am excited because it I think it's going to help grow our esports program beyond what we've created at the school we teach, that we work at. And so I don't teach. Sprites teaches some, right? Yeah. You teach.
Well, I just bully kids, really. Listen,
that's okay.
Listen, in this day and age, they are in grave need of somebody to bully them. That's all I'm saying.
For sure.
But I mean, I try to teach for sure.
Hey, well, that's all. That's all you have to do is try.
But
it is what it is. But no, I'm super excited. I get to teach in the spring. I got a couple of classes that kind of go with my background and kind of getting ready to enjoy that and opening up a new chapter in my life, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it won't bog me down too much from our discussion from last week about was it last week or the week before last? So I just want you to know that all this talk about what we've been talking about at Discord and what y'all been talking about, you've like opened up an old wound and it's beginning to gush.
I am extremely confused. So listen, I have slept one singular day since then. What are you referring to?
World of Warcraft.
Oh, hey, listen.
The halls of Stormwind are calling my name to raid them.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you're not raiding them, we can't be a part of Stormwind. we got to raid them. But listen, I'm excited. We got a good bit of our friend group that's looking like they might participate this time, and I have like a total of like a week's worth of experience in WoW. Now I have a lot of experience in MMORPGs though, like but not not WoW, you know. And
Well,
so we'll
the thing about WoW is it's easy to pick up. I mean, it's not terribly difficult. I mean, I've played it for so long that I picked it up the other day and kind of ran through. I wanted to kind of refresh myself on the priest class, and just looking forward to uh,
just
being
everything,
the healer that I miss being, and
you know.
I, I
The irony
and I
of an undead priest putting people back together is
is that
hilarious to
not
me.
awesome? Yes, yes, and
While
I chose the most disgusting to skin.
yeah, while they are
Well,
currently falling apart, you're piecing people back together.
oh yeah.
And
Well, what I noticed was when I created my character this time, and we kind of talked about this last time, but they've added so much like to the features and stuff that I really now when you create an undead character, you can actually create them where they're rotting, where they're like
yeah,
just
yeah.
barely undead, or you can create with the bone sticking out, which was always like the norm for the undead for World of Warcraft. So it's neat that they've added a lot of little features
Little
like that. That
yeah.
yeah, and so
That you don't have to go through. And I'm not saying that this isn't currently in the game, but I mean that's something that you already have, like right out the gate. It's not like a cosmetic thing you got to buy and some like loot box or something. Which
yeah,
I know
and that's
they
what.
have those, but yeah,
Well, the thing is with WoW is most of the it's not pay to win. I mean,
no.
you can pay to level your character up, but that doesn't necessarily give you better gear or anything like that. Like all the pay stuff for WoW is mostly cosmetic, or
Hmm.
like you can get special mounts that you can only buy through like with real money or whatever. Um, which I mean, I will say I've done. I mean, there's been some cool mounts in the past that I still have. Now I would like to kind of dog on Blizzard here for a second, but before I do that, I do want to remind
They deserve
everyone,
it.
please, yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, please follow us on X, uh, Facebook, Instagram. Um, I want to do a lot more posting on Instagram. I actually got a snippet like a 3-man kill on Fortnite last night that I may actually put on our YouTube channel as a YouTube short. I think it'd be
Dude, you
funny
know
to
it'd be
put that on
cool
there.
if like also putting like little. I mean, I don't know if you could, but putting like even some like highlights or something from like our Overwatch games or like our Smash games
That
from our
would be
teams.
really cool. I mean, I guess I would probably have to get like the team's permission. I think
Oh
that we
yeah, for
played.
sure.
Yeah, I'd have to get their permission, but because I know to live stream you have to have their permission to live stream. So I was
Yeah.
reaching out to a couple coaches and stuff, and again, a shout out to those guys. We went to the finals, and I guess it
Got
was the regional finals, and
yeah.
they played their heart out, and God love them, they got they got beat, but
Yeah, got 3-0. Well, which one we almost took game one, right? The other
yeah,
two games
yeah,
weren't
no,
nearly as close, but almost took. I mean, it was 99-99 the first point, and the second point I think was like 70, maybe 70 something or 60 something to obviously 100. So it was. I mean, it was close the first game. Second and third game we really needed to tighten up, but hey, I mean, it didn't happen. We play a super good team, right? One that is well equipped to handle what we brought to the table. We had a certain game plan that, in fact, wasn't. We were prepared for a completely different comp, and
oh yeah,
because
absolutely.
we played them earlier in the year, and we're like, okay, we're kind of expecting what they like to play. It turns out they're just super good players, right? And we should just expect the fact that they can probably play everything, and that's exactly what they showed. I mean, they showed all new characters that we didn't prepare for, and it just so happened that it's the exact opposite of what we needed for our comp, and so then we had to try to make some adjustments, and we weren't prepared for it. So, but when saying all that, I mean, we still listen, still want some money, which
Yeah,
is super
I'm
exciting.
proud of them. Well, the thing is, I mean, it's a big accomplishment, even for a little small school that we work for.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
if nothing else, I mean, they should be proud of themselves for making it that far. And
Well,
and I
and
know a lot
well,
of them are kind of
just
concerned about the money, but in the end, I mean, it even if there was no money, I mean, you still get that like recognition, you know.
absolutely. I mean, and just the fact that it is currently, I mean, there is the money involved, that that is a factor, and the fact that this money is readily available twice a year. So
Oh, absolutely.
essentially, I mean, you're dealing with, you make it back to the finals again, and yeah, and it's a completely different story here. I mean, you make it back to the finals, and you at least get another, you know, good bit of money.
Mm-hmm.
You
For
know,
sure.
a second time that year, which is insane to think about. A bunch of, I mean, you really think about it. If you start as a freshman and you accumulate all of these, um, and you make it to the finals every year, twice a year. I mean, what? That's the way that we have it divided up. I mean, that's 2 grand a year. You're looking at $8,000 that you're leaving high school with.
Oh yeah. That's I mean
Playing,
that's
playing a season which is only like a couple months long.
mm-hmm.
I mean, that's insane.
Yeah. And I mean, and really, I mean, the only work they're putting in is playing the game that they play. They're going to play anyways. I mean,
And
right?
yeah, practice is at home. I mean, it really is. I mean, it's just, now obviously you got to be good enough to make it there, right? Which, I mean, we have a squad that is. So, just
Yeah.
gotta keep working on it. But I'm happy for those guys. Shout out to them for sure. They did put in a good bit of work.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta get back to the grindstone here in a bit, but we're gonna take a break, enjoy some other opportunities. We've already talked about it. Maybe playing some WoW, maybe playing this or that for the holidays.
Yeah.
Enjoying
Yeah. We talked about doing maybe
some
like a
freedom
Lego Fortnite realm or something, just for a few of the
for
guys or
for the
anybody that wanted
lulz.
to. Yeah. Yeah. Well, but speaking of WoW, I'm going to get back to my Blizzard complaint because
Oh yeah, yeah.
so my wife was talking about playing again, and she's been kind of so what she's been doing is creating characters and playing to level 20 and creating another one, and so that was something she was wanting to pick back up, and because Blizzard, I don't know if they've like locked her account or deactivated it completely, wiped it out, what, but she cannot. And I mean, she's tried. Like, we have emailed Blizzard multiple times about trying to restore her account, and we just basically get ignored, which is kind of crappy on Blizzard's side.
Yeah,
I
that
feel
is
like
kind of
they
wild.
should, especially since there were mounts bought with real money, and I mean that's where all of her games are locked up
Hmm.
in. I mean, we bought all this stuff, man, and it's like 6 years of your life of like stuff you sunk into it. We even had the special editions for like Cataclysm and things like that, where she always we always bought two versions. I bought the normal one, like the digital version, and she always got the physical with like the books and the mounts and pets when they introduce pets and um all that kind of stuff. So I mean it's kind of a letdown, but it hopefully they'll figure it out, and maybe we email them again, and third or fourth time's a charm, but
Man, I really,
that
I
is
really hope you can get that resolved, because I mean, I know there's a lot of, not that I played anymore, but for those who know, like, I've played similar to the amount of time invested in there. I've played League of Legends for like 10, 11 years in
mm-hmm.
between that amount of time. And once again, I don't play it anymore. I don't think. I mean, I don't have it updated. I haven't booted it up in months. And when I did, I may have played a game, and I don't foresee myself playing that anytime in the future. But I do have like a pretty insane account in terms of like the money invested, because I've invested a good bit of real money in it. But also, like, there was a lot of just hard, grindy things that are like one-time events, right? And the spur of the moment, or like right then, that I have on over the span of like two or three accounts.
Hmm.
And so, if my main account specifically were to be blocked, I mean, that would be just, and I wouldn't be able to get that access back or anything like that. I would be kind of bitter because, I mean, I've invested a good bit of money. Like, I would probably say several $100s in
Yeah.
League, which, I
Yeah.
mean,
And
that's over the accumulation of 11 years. So when and like 5 of those years, 5 or 6 of those years, it was legit League exclusive. Like, I did not play anything else. It was I went home, I played League of Legends,
yeah, right,
and
right.
so it was. I mean, it was pretty intense. There wasn't anything. I might hop on and play a round of something, or a single player game for a little bit. But I mean, there was many a days where I'd hop on and play, you know, from from early in the morning to late at night, you know, just match after match after match. So
Hmm.
I get it. I mean,
Well,
you
and that's the
wouldn't
thing.
want
She
that.
had some like rare mounts that she did. She had to grind for, and she had those, and so she was proud of that. The that character having those mounts. And I mean, I know there's one mountain like Northrend or something that she tried to get, and she farmed for that thing for weeks and finally got it. It was like a rare spawn. Um, and she got it. It was like some ghost bear or something. I think it actually was not a very good pet, but it was, um, but it was something that she fought
I
for.
mean,
I mean, she
yeah,
accomplished.
there's an accomplishment there that, you know, well, I can tell you this. I'm excited about playing it. It's been a long time since I've played any type of like MMO and like actually invested into it. Now, obviously, uh, you know, uh, the big lead, or the big factor for me not doing that is I just don't have the time. Not I don't have the time to invest in a game like this. But with some time off, maybe we can lead to that. And
Well, and that's
not.
the thing. I would have like four characters ongoing. So like when we played in the past, um, we would create a character together and we would quest. And then, but I also had like a side character that I
That
was
you would play by
main as well.
yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And of course, I mean, because otherwise, I would get on and I would smoothly or like not even, not even gonna attempt to try to. I mean, it's
Yeah.
and it's just I mean, it was one of those things where the game was so much fun that I wanted to continue to play. I mean, I looked up for my computer and 6 years had passed. So, like,
True.
where
Yeah.
did this gray hair come from? No,
What? I am aging.
I am aging.
I, I look
So,
like one with the
um,
law.
but yeah, I'm excited, man. I hope that's something that we can, maybe get into, and I'm ready to kind of dive into something different. I think I'm about Switch and PlayStation out for now. There's nothing out that's worth sinking $60 into. Yeah, I think the only thing that I would probably get right now and play on Switch would be Advance Wars, and just because I haven't played it yet. But man, getting into this week's news. So I saw this today. Uh, Google, the most popular search engine, as most people know, um, I think it was Nintendo Live, maybe,
Oh,
or
oh, oh, Google. I know
Oh,
Google.
oh, Google. My kids used to say Google. They would ask
Google.
Google to tell them a joke, and Google. I will tell you, Google had better jokes than Siri.
Hey, there's a comedian once I got to talking about how his dad just like adds letters to stuff, and so his dad went to like the doctor one time, and he's like, and so like, and he would say words that almost sounded like it, but it wasn't quite it. So he's like, yeah, the doctor, he said the cartridge in my knee, the cartridge in my knee, it's not working right. And he went to me and he's like, hey, you know, you need to really kind of look up some ways of fixing that. And so I was like, Google, you want me to Google it? I can Google. I know Google.
He may have been a little dyslexic.
And yeah, hey, we know the curse of dyslexia. Okay,
Uh huh. Uh huh. Uh huh.
hey,
Yeah,
I'm right
writing those
there.
letters to Santa.
Google, I know Google. The cartridge and you need. Yeah, trying to say cartilage. They do tripping.
That's bad. That's
Listen,
bad.
listen. I can't. I I know like you want to take your time in the aging process, but there are some things that I'm look forward to as I get older. I become an older father, and that is the fact that I can absolutely like be just a nuisance to everybody around me, and have just no care about it. Like I'm looking forward to that. Like
Yeah, and they'll just
how
and
like
it'll be
dads just
like,
like do things to embarrass their kids and just like don't care about it.
oh, yeah, well, I see. That's
Like
the point I'm at.
I'm like, let's go.
I mean, I bothered my kid the other day. I went down and I put my lunch right at the end of the table, and he kind of looked at me funny. This is my oldest, and he looks at me funny, and he says, What are you doing?" So I was going
What
to
do
sit down here and eat lunch with you. You don't want to sit by me, sit in my lap or anything, Dad? Go
you,
away,
not in front of
dude.
my
Dude turned
friends,
like.
Dad.
I
My,
mean, dude turned beet red. I mean, he's
oh
like,
man.
"Go
Hey,
away."
I live for that. I live for that energy,
It is
bro.
so awesome. It's so awesome. I love
Dad,
it.
not in front of my friends.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're embarrassing me.
Yeah. And this is like the first year of that, so it's even sweeter to do
Listen,
it. You know,
listen.
like,
That gives me life if that ever happens. You're embarrassing me, Dad. Like, yeah, I know I am.
I mean, and I don't want him to. It's not time for him to bring home a girlfriend, but man, oh, I've got
Boy,
so many
hey,
bathtub pics and
dude,
like
don't do that. Listen,
I've
listen,
got
listen,
so much, man.
listen. There's that. See, there's that like fine line, though. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't want to bust out the bathtub. Well, I
Oh
mean, look,
no.
I don't.
Or the one where he fell out of the stool and like one side of his chin was bigger than the other.
Oh,
Which I mean,
listen, we're
he
probably gonna
shouldn't have
get
been in the
canceled.
stool.
We're probably gonna get canceled with the story, but I'll tell it anyways. Um, our hey, the
Hey,
whale's about to
if we ain't got
listen.
canceled
The
yet,
oh, just you wait. You haven't heard the story yet. Um, listen, I'm sitting up. I'm sitting up. I'm sitting up. You hear my squeaky chair? I'm sitting up. You know. Um, let me just preface this by saying I was extremely young. Okay, fault me if you will, but it was the very like you want to talk about embarrassing times. The very first girlfriend that I ever brought home, right? My stepdad told her this story. Like first meeting her, like, "Hi, how are you? Hey, my name's da 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 da. Oh, nice to meet you. You want to hear a funny story about your boyfriend?" That's like, listen, and he proceeds to tell this story, right? We used to live in Houston, right? Used to live in Houston, and my stepdad had to get up early to go to work every day. Kind of a typical thing. Well, one day he got up early, and it was like 4:30, right? I mean, like like really early stuff. And he gets up and he gets ready to use our bathroom for whatever reason. I don't know why, but I mean, it was kind of, closest to the kitchen. So he went to go use our bathroom and he couldn't get into our bathroom because it was preoccupied by
Mhm,
yours
mhm,
truly,
mhm,
your
mhm,
boy,
mhm.
Sprites. And he couldn't get into the bathroom. I had the bathroom door locked, but I wasn't using the restroom. What he proceeded to hear coming from the bathroom was a series of "Wee-haw, wee-haw, oh, oh, yo, 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 wee-haw." That he opens the door and finds that my face is swollen shut. I'm like 6 years old. I don't know what's going on. All I know is I thought I had an Asian's face on my face. So I'm like, sweet, I am now Asian. I didn't know how the process worked, but I just thought I became a different race. So, hey, your boy was practicing whatever reason. I know it's extremely racist. I'm ashamed of it. But what had happened was I encountered my very first encounter with poison ivy. And it had
Oh
swollen
no.
my, like, look, it wasn't itchy at the time. It got like into my bloodstream, and like we found out right then and there I was extremely allergic. It like puffed me up, dude. But you want to talk about
You
somebody
were having
who who
making it
I was
completely worth it.
dude, I was making the most out of it. And my stepdad, as worried as he was for my well being and my livelihood, he could not pick himself off the floor from laughing. That dude was gone as I proceeded to flurry him with wayas and whoa. Once again, not proud of it. I mean, it's a little funny. Okay, it's a little funny.
I
I
know that's
understand.
pretty
I
funny.
listen. I
Well,
understand. It's a bit spicy. It's a spicy story,
and we're
and
definitely getting
and we
canceled after
listen. Listen.
this.
Listen. We don't condone racism here, but it's pretty funny, bro.
Oh
Like
man,
it's
that's
it's
great.
it's pretty funny. Like,
That is
yeah, young
hilarious.
Sprites, was young Sprites a complete idiot? Absolutely. Was his life in danger? Absolutely. Was it funny? Yeah, 100%, bro.
I'm gonna give I don't think Reference is listening to him anymore, but I'm gonna give him a shout out. He probably still thinks that older Sprites is an idiot.
Dude, hey, sometimes he's right. Will I ever tell him that if he doesn't listen to this? No, absolutely not.
No,
Not
he'll
to
have
his
to
face.
listen to hear it. Yeah,
He'll
oh
have to
yeah, for
listen to the
sure.
well. Yeah.
Well, I don't think you can tell it to his
Get it.
face because
Get it.
he's
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'd have to get a step stool for sure. I had to get a ladder.
that's funny.
Tell it to his face. Old
Well,
giraffe looking. All right. Anyways, moving on.
back to Groogle.
Back to Google. Back to
And
Google.
and guys, I'm so sorry. I think I'm getting sick. So if you hear me hacking in the background, forgive
Yeah,
me.
he's just he's just way Wahayan. All right,
Lion. So
Wahayan.
Google's top 10 searched games for 2023. It's kind of neat because most of this almost falls in line with what we talked about with the game of the year awards. Uh, Resident Evil is like at 15%. It was number 10. Wait a minute. One, two. Oh, my math. Okay. Yeah, Resident Evil 4, Honkai Star Rail, Remnant. I'm thinking that's Remnant 2. Cyberpunk. I don't know why people are still Googling Cyberpunk, but whatever. Connections. Don't know what that is.
They
Um,
they must be googling that one for like how to get past a certain level.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
100%.
Hogwarts Legacy, Diablo 4, Starfield, Tears of the Kingdom got 88%. Yeah, you know that was all the builds.
Yeah.
Absolutely know that that's what it was. They were looking for these cool builds to do,
Dude,
and
it maybe this is just the petty in me, and I know I'm petty. I try not to be, but sometimes it just is. Dude, it's so satisfying. It's so satisfying to see a Hogwarts Legacy as high as it is, man. After all the like garbage that it had to go through just to prove itself to be not like, first off, not a bad game. Second off, not the game that everybody or that media claimed it to be,
well,
or the cancellation.
that's probably why it's at 64% is because
I
people were
dude,
googling if it was,
I
you know,
love
because
it.
they were googling, you know, if it was not woke or not, you know, not this or not
Oh
that,
yeah, for sure.
or bad mouthed it in some way. I mean, that's probably how it got googled so much, because I mean, it's not a very difficult game as far as like
Yeah, figuring
traversal
stuff.
and
Yeah,
yeah, like figuring out where to go, because I mean it's I
pretty
mean it's still
streamlined.
like, yeah, I mean it's I mean it's a pretty big map. But they do a very good job of guiding you in the direction that you need to go. Starfield at 82%. That was probably people trying to figure out, okay, now I've gone to the 15 systems that have life. What else do I do? So,
True,
but
true.
Baldur's Gate 3 got 100%. I feel like that's probably well deserved. I bet people were probably, that was probably a bunch of different stuff, you know, like
Oh yeah, there's so
how
many
to do
different.
this, how to do that, probably what the game is for those
Well,
newcomers.
once again with Baldur's Gate 3, there's just such a different, man. I mean, it there's just so many options. And one thing that Baldur's Gate has that like most other games don't is the fact that you actually have the option to be the villain if you want to be, which is
Yeah,
wild
right.
to me. You know, like most games don't give you like Diablo, you're always going to be fighting whatever primeval you're up against. You know, even
Right, right, right.
Zelda, I mean, you're forced into, which I mean, those are games built upon the storyline that they're bringing in. But I mean, with Baldur's Gate 3, that's the reason why it's so. I mean, just I mean, it's I I was gonna like it at the Elden Ring, but even Elden Ring doesn't give you that option. You know what I mean? You could probably
Yeah,
be a
right.
little bit more savage in Elden Ring. I'm sure there might be people that you can kill that you normally don't have to, but like, you know what I mean? Even something that has an option to go wherever and fight whatever at any time, you know, still is limited to the fact that you are bound to fight these guys. Where
Yeah,
like
right.
in this
Absolutely.
one, it's like, hey, if you want to like beat up on the good guys, like even the people that are supposed to follow you, you can kill them all if you wanted to, which is wild. You know, like the people that are like legit supposed to be in your party, you can kill them if you wanted to.
Oh, so you could take out your barbarian if you wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, no, I could fight. Yeah, I could fight our barbarian. I'd probably lose. Keep it a buck with you because I mean, he's trained to fight, right?
Yeah. Well,
And
but is he
also a
still
lot,
missing
huh?
when you attack him, or is he still missing when you attack him?
So I would probably connect a lot more with mine. I don't know though. I don't know. My AC is way higher than his, and I do have healing. So I don't know. I might be able to take him out. It just kind of depends on what I use on him because
Right,
he
right,
also
right.
has rage, right? So barbarians have the ability to go into like a rage state where they take like half damage to everything. To
Right, right, right.
most forms of damage, you're going to take half damage to, and so the damage that I'm going to pump out to him, it's going to be half damage, which
Okay,
just
cool
makes
deal.
them even harder to hit. But yeah, anyways, yeah, those games, some of them are a little weird. You know, looking at it, some of them were not really expected to be on the top 10 list of games Googled, but
Well, and I think, you know, I mean, 2023 for video games was not terrible. I mean, it's not
oh
obviously the best
no,
we've had, but you know, it was a pretty good year. It was a bad year to
absolutely
have the New
yeah,
Year's resolution I had. I can tell you that.
true,
Um,
true.
but moving on, and so there's a story that kind of goes with this. So, as the weeks go on and they keep adding stuff, like Fortnite's gotten a bunch of upgrades lately. We kind of talked about that last week, and it's become one of those things that, story. So when I first started at the place we work at, the kids that are in our esports group right now are sixth graders, or were sixth graders at the time, and so um, they were, a bunch of good kids. They were big into Fortnite, right? And that was kind of in my, I guess, ignorance of how the game actually is. Um, I told them, because that was back before zero build. So I mean, that was, in my opinion, that was back when Fortnite was trash. Which people will tell you now that zero build is trash because it's not technically what Fortnite used to be. And I get that. Somebody that's played it since the beginning.
Yeah.
So I used to tell them that they talked about it so much that I used to tell them that that is a bad word in the class. We're not going to talk about it. Like, if you say that,
Like something's
I
trash.
like no, Fortnite, like, period. If you say Fortnite, we treated
Mm.
that like
Yeah, like you were
the
saying
same as saying
Voldemort.
like a. But yeah, right. The game that shall not be named.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And
Yeah, you get a
we were
stub nose if
playing.
you.
Well, we were playing a game called Classcraft in class. It was something that was. I think I've told you about this before. It was a cool little educational game where you put your class into groups, and it was groups of 3, and you had like a mage, a warrior, and like a priest, I think. And so the mage, as the kids answered questions in class, or like turned in their homework assignments on time, they got experience points. As they got experience points, they got to level up their character. They got to pick new spells. And when it came quiz time, um, we would put the quiz up on the board, and I would add all the questions to, and so they had to fight something, right? So they would fight, like, I had a big beast or something up there that they had to fight. Well, it randomized your groups for you, and we played on like iPads, so they all had their little iPads, and so they would get their question on their iPad. Well, the mage, if the team didn't know the question, if they didn't know the answer to the question, the mage could take and send that question to a different group. So he would cast that spell. Of course, his MP would go down. If you got the question wrong, the creature did damage to the team, or to the character. And then if you got it right, you did damage to the beast. And so that's how you won the quiz. That's how you completed the quiz. And
That
instead of giving
that's pretty.
points and a grade out of it, if a character um lost all of its HP, lost all of their HP, then they had to do an extra homework assignment to get revived in the game. The game master could revive them if they did this. So,
Mm.
so I had a little rule thing in there, because you could create your own stuff, and like you could say, um, okay, like, we don't say Fortnite in class, right? Because it was a big distraction. So I had an attack, like a rule. If you say Fortnite in class, I would click your character, and it would do like 5 damage to you.
Mm.
And so if they talked too much, or they got too loud, or whatever, I could take a whole team's HP. I could bump their HP down for talking. I could horseplay, having to go to the office, things like that. I could take their HP away from
Yeah. That's
them. but if
that's
they,
pretty
but if
cool.
they, yeah, it was pretty neat. It was a pretty neat platform. We used it for about a year, and they enjoyed it. And um, but anyways, they were joking with me today, because they were like, "Yeah, you remember back when Fortnite used to be a bad word in class, and obsessed with it, or whatever, And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, well, you know,
I mean, it does look like a fun game. I've never, it kind of came out after my, I've told you this before. When it comes to like FPSs, I was super out of the trend of FPSs at the time, and I dropped, playing shooter games for a good while, and as you can tell now, I've picked Overwatch up, but excuse me. But yeah, no. So I kind of skipped over Fortnite, and so I know it is. I mean, clearly it's considered. I mean, it's literally the most popular game in the world, right? I mean, in terms of like daily to weekly to monthly users, it is
Yeah.
just it's second to none by like a large margin. You know,
Well, and that's the thing. They've gotten it's become so popular that, and this is what caught my eye and what I wanted to talk about was that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arrive in Fortnite, and man, the skins are amazing looking. Like I mean, they really are. I think I looked. It's like a total of like 30 something dollars for now. That's each turtle. You get all four turtles. You get all four back blings, which are their weapons. I think except for Mikey, and Mikey's got a skateboard. But I mean, you can put the back bling on any of them. So and then they all have emotes, which are just them, like taking their weapons and spinning around or something like that. But
yeah.
it is I mean, it really is cool. I mean, to see Ninja Turtles in Fortnite, and I mean the skins are worth it. I mean, I don't know if it's worth $35, but uh, the and then I saw where there was talk about Nintendo characters coming, but Nintendo would lock that to the Nintendo Switch version of it probably, and it wouldn't be available to everybody else. And so who knows? Maybe Nintendo will cave and give into Fortnite, but I don't see that happening. But so for those that play Fortnite, go check the skins out. I don't know how
Dude,
long they're in the
dude,
store,
the
probably for a
thought
while.
the thought of Mikey just pulling a pump shotgun and just smoking somebody is hilarious to me.
Oh, and I did. I
Like
got smoked by Leonardo last night.
there's dude Leonardo. It's so funny. He's like. So have you heard? I'm sure because I know you're like a big uh, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan. I've heard this theory about, and maybe it's not even a theory. Maybe it's just like a canon thing about like all of their weapons, like why they have the weapon that they have,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
yeah,
all of
yeah,
them
yeah.
are to be used. I listened to a video like a long time, like a while back, and they explained like how all of their weapons are actually to reflect like a struggle that is innate to that particular person. So like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
with Mikey, he's obviously the most immature, and he and so he's always the one that is the most confused and the one that doesn't focus as much, yet he has the most technical weapon out of the bunch and nunchucks that require you to be extremely focused and extremely like accurate with your movements.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
you got um Raphael that has the size, which are primarily a defensive weapon, yet he's the most hot-headed, right? So it
Mm-hmm.
teaches him that offense isn't the only way to fight.
Right, right.
Then you got Donatello that has a stick. You're like, dang. But he's the most like tech savvy brain wise, yet he has the
Mm-hmm.
most simplistic out of the weapons,
Mm-hmm.
which once again teaches him that just because you can rely and have a great knowledge of technology doesn't mean you necessarily have to rely on that to succeed. And the
Right,
last
right.
one, being Leonidas or Leonidas, the Spartan.
Whew. Somebody is roasting you right
bro,
now.
Imagine Leonidas.
You,
imagine the
Boy, that dyslexia kicked in bad, didn't it?
Bro, it's late. It's late. It's late. Listen, I get one free pass. Wee-haw! Anyways, bro, can you imagine? Can you imagine the three and then just Leonidas with a black with a blue headband, just standing there with the Ninja Turtles, bro, just in his tights, like in his little leotard or in his little spandex with his shield and a spear, bro, ready to take on Shredder.
Oh man, that's funny.
Oh, then you have Leonardo, which obviously is the guy that doesn't want to ever kill anybody. He doesn't want to hurt anybody. He's
Right.
compassionate and gentle, but he has the only weapon that actually has a sharp edge to it that is the most prone to for murder or for killing.
Well, and I
And
don't
so
know if
his kind of teaches him that sometimes you have to take a life in order to save one.
right, and I don't know if you know this or not, but
I just thought it was an
so
awesome explanation. I was like, I've never heard this. Like, anytime I've ever watched it, I was just like, oh, that's cool. They have
well,
this weapon and that weapon.
the original comics were pretty dark. Um,
Oh yeah,
they
yeah.
were they, yeah, I mean they weren't like the comics that Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman did in the beginning. The old black and whites were not as you know like well, I mean they were yes, essentially they were not like adult comics or anything, but they were not as like kid friendly as the 80s cartoon that made the fun loving turtles that I mean everybody grew up and loved.
Hmm.
Which I will say, I'm you know how I am about remakes. I'm not a big fan of remakes, but the 2000, I think it was 2003, TMNT remake of Ninja Turtles was amazing. I mean, they still had that like humor side that the old ones did, but it did give that darker element to it, and it was, man, I love that. So
Yeah. Well, I definitely
shout out to
know. I really enjoyed watching TMNT when I was younger, and then obviously, I mean, I don't watch it now. Yeah, I haven't watched any recently, but you know, I loved I loved I love the older like live action movies. I know they were cheesy and kind of goofy,
oh man, those are
but
the
man,
best.
they're so good, man. They're so good. I used to we used to go to our baby like I have some great nostalgic memories. We used to go to some babysitters to watch us in the afternoon and right after school until my mom got home from work. And when we would go to this babysitter, they would always have one of the because at that time they didn't have like cable or anything like that so they had VCRs,
Yeah,
and so
right.
we would just watch it. Dude, it was always a good time when we went over there.
Well, and that's what I'll say. Like I remember that was in the theater. And I saw the first Ninja Turtles in the theater for, I think it was for my birthday or something. We had like a little birthday party, and we kind of went in the middle of the day so that we it was just us, and it was, I don't know, it was pretty neat. I'm looking forward to. I hope they go back to the old. The new Ninja Turtles. The animation was pretty good, but the I don't know, man. It just didn't. It wasn't.
Didn't hit.
Yeah, it just didn't hit for me. But no, moving on. Like we um hopefully I saw something else from Nintendo. Speaking of Nintendo characters in Fortnite, we saw that I saw an article where Nintendo says that the next Legend of Zelda game will unlikely be a direct follow up to Tears of the Kingdom, which, I mean, we kind of knew that. Tears of the
Yeah,
Kingdom did
no.
kind of actually like kind of in that saga. Now I did hear that they might go back to the, well, there was a talk about, or are they going to go back to the old formula And it sounds like this new open world formula is kind of here to stay. Maybe not in the same way. Maybe they change Hyrule. Maybe they, I just don't know. And
Yeah.
with, of course, with beefed up hardware, I mean, the limitation, like the limitation with Breath of the Wild
I,
and Tears of the Kingdom. I feel like the reason the land is not as populated as it could have been is probably a limitation on the system. They
on the
didn't want to
system,
over.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because you saw that with Pokemon. They tried to push resources and put more Pokemon on the map and more things
Yeah, and
in this
it
open
caused
world
a
game, and
lot
it
of.
kind of caused issues.
But I hope that I tell you, I hope it, which you kind of heard my opinion on, what my favorite Legend of Zelda's game is, but I hope that the newer one kind of takes after the darker undertones and is similar to like Twilight Princess, because
Oh, that would
I
be
just love,
awesome.
or even something like Ocarina of Time that has that feel to it, where it's like a sandbox, similar to Tears of the Kingdom, and but once again, I want it would be awesome if it was similar in the exploration and obviously something in a different Hyrule, right, that kind of changes the terrain of everything, but it's dark, a darker undertone to everything, right? And the fact that you remember in Twilight Princess, you had like that alternate world, right? Like that, almost like the Upside Down or something, like a when you went your wolf mode, it was kind of you
Yeah.
had that like Twilight, the Twilight Zone or whatever. I don't know what it's called. It's been
Mm-hmm.
so long
Mm-hmm.
now, but um, but something like that where you can make that like a whole nother map to explore when you go. And I'm not saying mimic exactly Twilight Princess, but there's so many different options you can go. But I hope it's a little bit more darker and gritty,
Well,
in
I mean, I
terms of
even
like the
think that
aesthetic, because
maybe even doing like a smaller open world and just but making it or doing a big open world. I mean, either way, either or, and just so you got like a Link to the Past. If you took a Link to the Past and you made it into, I mean, because it was essentially a top down overworld game, right? I mean, open
mhm,
world. So what if you take that game and you basically, I mean, build it from
you're
scratch, but
you're
give it
like third
give
person
it
view, like
yeah, I
right
mean,
up
give
on
it give
right
it
up
a
on.
Breath of the Wild
Yeah.
treatment, where it's
Uh-huh.
but it's the same game. I mean, it could be a remake,
So
but just like,
even with that, I like, and I might just be weird on this, but I actually like how much closer the frame is, or like the screen is on on those older games too, than even like compared to Tears of the Kingdom. But I don't like it, like it's not quite uh like zoomed up to your guy. I would prefer it to be a little bit more zoomed up.
oh yeah,
I know
yeah,
that
kind of like
seems weird, like Ocarina of Time. How it's like you're. I mean, the way that you walk, you almost have to adjust the camera angle on. And I know it's kind of tedious, but to me, I just felt, I don't know, it just feels natural for a Zelda game to be like that. But
well,
I
and I
know they're
think
giving us something
and
different.
yeah, and I think going back to that, like even like the dungeons, you could do open world, but then once you got in the dungeons, maybe maybe the camera changes, maybe you
That'd
know
be cool.
there would be more limitations in the dungeon that you would have that you necessarily didn't have in the open world portion of it. Maybe
Yeah.
it would almost be like building or playing two separate games. But who knows? We'll see. We'll see what Nintendo's got up their sleeve. I'm sure there will be a new Legend of Zelda with the release of a new Switch hardware, if it comes in 2025. If it comes in 2024, I feel like that will be a new Mario game, and we'll probably not get another Zelda for another couple years. But Um, Still speaking kind of on Nintendo, I know we talk about them a lot. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, the Indigo Disc DLC is out.
Oh, yeah.
That bumped the DLC, or that bumped the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet version up to 3.0.0. And it looks like I was talking to a couple of the guys and the esports kids, and they were talking about how there's still glitches. There's still some broken stuff. They did fix some, but um, one one of the kids said that there's like a digital wall, and the digital wall was like the Trump wall. You couldn't pass it.
Oh no, not the wall. They
The
got it
Trump
built
wall.
somewhere.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you
Oh, it
can't
is,
build it
and
at
that's on the DLC. Like
yeah,
there's a
there's like a
wall.
digital wall. Well, because each when you go inside
You have the biomes.
yeah, the biomes, you got the separate biomes and stuff. So,
Yeah.
but
Well,
I don't know. I hadn't, man, I haven't. I don't know if I'm gonna get that or not.
I've heard. I mean, I've heard that there's even some more like. So there's going to be some future events that are going to be tied into even the DLC. So like you would have to have the DLC in order to get these events that are going to be active here soon. And a couple of them have to deal with like mythic mons being available in the game that
Oh,
are
that's cool.
and so but they're like little side quests that you do in the DLC itself, but it's not yet dropped, right? It's like it sounds funny that you're like, I bought the DLC, I should be able to get it now, but it's like it's going to be like a live event that they're going to do, from what it sounds like.
Well, I mean that
But
brings
but
replayability, and that brings people back to it. The
mm,
problem with Pokemon and doing that is, like in the beginning, of course I played, I finished the game, I was enjoying all the raids. I was trying to get all of the what was the 7-star Pokemon and everything, and I did for a while, and then it was just kind of like, okay, the only time I boot this game up is for that, and
Yeah.
if that's all I'm booting the game up for, I'm just gonna quit playing it. That's kind of where I ran into with Monster Hunter. Like they had some events, like they had a Sonic the Hedgehog event where because it was Capcom. Um, and Sega had a a little thing where they were there was a Mega Man event where your dog could get like rush something like a rush skin or something. I don't know. I don't remember all the details to it now, but it was like I've already finished the game. I'm not investing any more time just for an event, and I think
yeah.
that's where people. I mean, it does bring people back. It brings a lot of hardcore
Well,
fans back, but
I think it just depends on what you're getting, what you want to get out of Pokemon, right? I mean, if you're playing the new game for the new Mons, the new storyline, the new this, the that, the replay value is not going to be very much because by the time you catch all these Mons and use the Mons and go through the initial game and whatnot, I mean, you're going to sink a good bit of hours, and it's going to take. I mean, it's going to take a lot of your. It's going to take some definitely some time, but when you get done with those things, I mean, like you said, there's not really a lot of replay value there. But
mm,
if you are doing something else in Pokemon, such as actually playing competitive, then the game itself becomes different, right? Which I encourage anybody who is just an avid Pokemon fan. I thoroughly enjoy when you have the time. I mean, you have to definitely dedicate the time to this, but um, after you play through a run, whether it's a vanilla run or whatever, uh, I I enjoy playing Nuzlocks of things. I mean, it's fantastic. You know, that's pretty much just a harder version with self-imposed rules. Like if you lose a mon, you have to release them. You can only catch one mon per round. You gotta some of them. There's like hardcore nuzlocks that you can't switch Or you gotta put it on set mode, which means that you don't get priority on your Switch.
Right.
You can't heal in battle. You can't, you know what I mean? So it like all of these things, you can't over level, right? So the level cap is the next gym leader or the Elite Four's highest mon, right? I
Mm.
mean, that's like all of these rules that like really make the gameplay of for Pokemon that much more enjoyable, I guess. But
Yeah.
with this, I mean, this is it looks really cool. I know this is the DLC that everybody's been waiting on. They were kind of like with the Teal Mask, the first one that came out already. They were kind of like, they're excited about the new Mons and getting to explore the new place, but it wasn't as I think hype as they were for this one because it was like a brand new you saw all those new biomes and they really introduced a whole bunch of new Pokemon. So,
Well, and
or
I think
older
that's
Pokemon finally added into the game.
I
So,
think that's the problem too for me. Like, I mean, I've really never been a big DLC person for Pokemon. I know, like
yeah,
in the
I'm not
past,
either.
they always release like Ultra Sun and Moon, and that was kind of like the game plus DLC, I guess. Before they could do DLC, I guess, and I mean it. I don't know, man. I'm just not
Well,
a big fan of going back to something like that I'm not going to get that much time out of and sinking that
yeah,
much time. I mean, I've already dropped over 100 hours in that game, so
I hear you. Well,
which
I
which I
know
mean,
it's
I have dropped more hours in Pokemon, Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet than I have any other Pokemon game. So
yeah. Which ironically, I have actually dropped significantly more hours in all other Pokemon games than those two.
well,
I
yeah,
don't
but
know
you
what
like
it's.
the
I,
Nuzlocking things probably.
Yeah. Well, I like the older like fifth gen and down. I really really enjoy,
Yeah.
because fifth gen's the last gen that you actually see sprites, and all the other ones are 3D
Mm-hmm.
models. So
The
hence the
3D
name.
models make you sick, don't you?
Yeah. Well, some of them they just butcher, man. Some of those 3D models are like depressing. You look at the 3D models, you're like, whoa, did not know the Pokemon look like that.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
like like look, some of those Pokemon models, hey, they need to start hitting the gym or something. Those Pokemon be coming out extra hefty for no reason.
Uh-huh.
I'm like,
Uh-huh.
I didn't
Like
know he
like
was
Lickitung
dude
in the movie.
lick a ton more like it.
Mm-hmm.
That boy
Mm-hmm.
out here, yeah. And then you also got like you got
You got
Typhlosion.
Lickitung licking people like Joe Biden sniffing kids.
Oh no, not the Joey B roast. Not that. Listen, get that man off the bike. Who put him
Oh,
on that?
oh, for sure.
Who put him on that bike?
Oh, we talked about this earlier. What'd you say?
Who put him on that bike? We need to get some get us some secret service to pedal him around. Who put him on that bike?
That's right. Put
You
him in that
know, you
basket.
know he
Put
a
him in that
senior
basket on the
citizen.
front.
Shame on y'all for putting him on that bike.
That's right. You help your elderly out.
Get
Come
somebody
on.
strong to pedal that dude around. Come on,
Yeah. Yeah.
help it, help a Biden out.
Guard the eagle.
Yeah, caca. The eagle has landed on the pavement.
Oh, mm-hmm. Yes,
It
he did. Just like the White House Christmas tree.
not the tree, not the tree. Anyways,
But man, I don't
moving on.
know. The other Nintendo. Well, I mean, I don't know. We got a couple of other things. Real quick, Super Mario Wonder
Yeah,
Tetris 99 is out. I think they've released Tetris 99 for everything that's come out on the Switch that's
true.
been Nintendo.
Yep, 100%.
But man, the big news, Prince of Persia. So when I first saw the concept of the new Prince of Persia game, I looked at it and I was like, I, it looks intriguing. I'm like, I will try it. So
I've played some Prince of Persia games.
no,
They're
now
fun
I
and
love
the
Prince of Persia, the old games.
Yeah, on a PlayStation 2.
Yeah, so
Those are
I
pretty good.
thoroughly enjoyed the Prince of Persia games,
The
and
Sands of Time and
Sands of Time was the best game.
yeah,
I
that
mean,
was
it
pretty good.
was, but
Pretty solid.
this one looks like it is a two door. It's a 2D. That's mine.
Two door down.
Two, two.
Two door. not the not, not the off brand 3 doors down. It's 2 windows down. Not two.
The funny thing is, I can hear you rocking in your chair, laughing.
Squeaks underneath me, man. You squeaking, man.
Please go support the podcast so we can get Sprites a new chair.
Hey, me and this chair, we've been through a lot together. That's why he got confirmation. Just listen, he got as much to say as I do, isn't that right? Yeah.
Oh
Anyways,
man, the 2D Metroidvania. It's got promises a unique experience and a long time standing franchise. For those that hadn't played Prince of Persia, it's always been a really good game. That I think they do what they do a third person action RPG on one of them, and then I don't even know if it'd be called an action RPG, maybe just an action game, but it was and then Sands of Time was like a 2D side scroller, but it was pretty linear. I mean, so
oh yeah, 100%.
it followed a specific path. There were not really puzzles, but obstacles that you had to get through. But I love a Metroidvania. So for those that don't know, Metroidvania is based off of the name Metroidvania comes from a merger of the two games that actually created this genre, and really Metroid was the first, and then Castlevania followed suit. Castlevania used to not be Castlevania followed kind of like more of a Ghost and Goblins type formula in the beginning, and then, or I guess Ghost and Goblins followed. I don't remember which one came first. It may have been Ghost and Goblins, but the first Castlevania games followed that kind of like linear path also, and then adopted the Metroid style version. So Metroidvanias were born, and essentially what a Metroidvania is you are you start off in an area, and it's almost basically an open world, side scrolling type open world game where you continuously get upgrades that open up new areas to the map, and then by getting these upgrades you can go back to previous areas of the map and unlock more upgrades like health packs. And I mean, like for Metroid you can get missiles, and you can upgrade your missiles and all this stuff. So the more it embraces exploration, and it really pushes, I mean, with Metroid Dread, it that brought a whole new level to the difficulty of the game. And but Ubisoft is going to try their hand at this with Prince of Persia, and they said that, of course, when they said it was coming to Switch, they decided that that there was concerns about is the game going to play smooth? Is it going to work the way it should? Because when you take Prince of Persia, you have to have those frames. Like if you start dropping frames, you're going to miss your jumps, because everything is jump and time oriented, to where you have to make sure that you're doing everything that you can the right way. And if you've got frame dips, then that's gonna hurt you in the long run. But they have an emphasis on storytelling. Um, the Prince of Persia games add depth. Um, um, I'm trying to think. The Immortals and rich lore enhance the world, balancing solitude with engaging interactions. The game's going to introduce new enemies, and it looks like they've pulled a lot from. I guess they're probably their experience with Metroid Dread, and so they're trying to make some of the enemies more difficult. I can't remember I think they were called EVs or something like that. I think in Metroid Dread, and man, when those things came after you, they didn't stop. Like they chased you down. It was almost like running from Nemesis in Resident Evil. And I mean, you had to take these things out because those were the only ways that you could progress to the next, like segment of the game. But it looks like they're going to have more formidable enemies in this game, and the combat so far, everybody has just praised. The I think it's supposed to be like a 20 to 25 hour main adventure, and the Switch version is actually running at a smooth 60 frames per second.
Okay.
Now the cool thing is because this is one of those that I probably would pick up on Switch just because I could play it in handheld and enjoy it on that nice OLED.
Yep. 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 Something
And
that
so,
something
being a
that
longtime Prince of
I
Persia fan, I'm
do not do, even though I bought a OLED myself and just refuse to go handheld with it. I don't know why. I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'll just leave it on the dock.
that's crazy to me. I mean, now there's a lot of things that I will not play in handheld, like Tears of the Kingdom. I played the majority of it on the TV just because I wanted that big screen, and I refuse to play Splatoon handheld because when you're having to like turn the your gyro as the whole system, that gets pretty rough on your wrists.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, I can't do that gyro stuff. I don't my brain don't work like that.
I'm
Listen, I
telling
might
you,
have
man.
dyslexia, but not in the wrist.
Look, once you get
What are we even doing, man?
I don't know, man.
We're, it's
Oh,
it's late, guys. It's late. We apologize for, but listen, I feel like this is some of the best stuff, bro.
hey, look, I'm not
So
apologizing for anything.
so, so sometimes it just listen. I'm telling you, I think I have Asperger's. I really do.
I think we've
Sometimes,
talked about that before, haven't we?
yeah. Sometimes I feel like I don't have a filter, even though I probably should. But on
Well, I
that
mean,
on that particular thing, I mean, it is what it is, man.
well,
Not
no,
at the
but
wrist, dude. I'm telling you, it's like I can't go backwards. Listen, if you props to you, if you are a gamer that knows how to use inverted controls, but let me just tell you this, dude, stop trying to push a pull door. You know what I'm saying? Stop. Like I don't know what kind of like faulty wiring's going on up in your head that you can play with your controls and inverted. But look, there are pros that play inverted controls on like CS:GO and a bunch of other games, and I'm like, what kind of different animal? I'm like, I bet this dude puts on. Dude, listen, I tell you, I bet this dude puts the milk in the bowl first and then pours the cereal on top of the milk. Like, yeah, I'm telling you, dude.
They build
Bet,
different.
I bet he wets the toothbrush before he puts the toothpaste on it.
Wait.
I'm telling
You don't do that?
you wet the toothbrush first.
Yeah.
You don't like put the toothpaste on it and then wet the toothpaste.
No.
No, it's
No.
just like
Why do you
dry
wet the
toothpaste.
toothpaste?
Well, I mean,
Yes.
so like so
I
the
mean, it's not
toothpaste will
dry because
spread,
the bristles are wet on the toothbrush.
but like so it spreads. So like you wet the tooth like you
It
turn
still
it.
spreads though.
I mean, technically, yes.
Hmm.
It is a
This
little
is
strange to me though.
interesting.
What I'm
No,
thinking,
see, I've
I'm trying to think of
done
some
that.
more
I've
here.
done that for like 41 years. So, well, I mean, I guess not 41, but I mean, since I started brushing
Yeah,
my own
since you
teeth, I
can.
mean, you know,
True. I'm trying to think of
like,
some others here. That one, I'll keep it a buck with you. I'm not as hard pressed on that one. What are some other
woo.
ones? Oh, okay. Do you put both your socks on and then your shoes, or do you put a sock, a shoe, a sock, a shoe?
Um, it depends. So probably
What?
both.
What?
Yeah,
Wait,
yes.
you wait. What?
No, I mean, so yeah, it's both because it depends on how lazy I am that morning.
Wait, you don't go sock, shoe, shoe?
Well, normally, yes. But if I'm really lazy and I go to bend down to get my sock and my
You're like
shoes right there, I might just do sock, shoe, sock, shoe.
sock shoe. Okay, that's a little
Yeah.
different. That's not
But yeah,
because,
I
but
mean, it's just
that's not the like desired path that you
no,
choose.
no, 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 no. I mean, it would be sock, sock, shoe, shoe. I
Yeah,
mean,
sock.
yeah.
Yeah. We're not. Let's not get a little crazy here. We can't be going, dude. Have you ever tried shoe, sock? That's the real
No,
groundbreaking.
no.
That's where we get a little crazy.
Now I have tried sock, and then like split the middle and then flip flop in the middle, so my feet look like Ninja Turtle.
Whoa, you went sock, flip,
Yeah,
flop.
flop flop in the middle.
Dude, I hate my chair now, bro, because it just sounds like it's giggling. we need to close it, bro. We're done. Listen, guys, just remember this is the Dragon's Well where we sock, flip, flop. You know what I'm saying?
Flop. And sometimes
Listen,
we
but
just start with the flop flop, and we just fall down the.
oh,
We flop flop into the well.
do you salt first or do you pepper?
Oh no, for sure. So, well, okay, so it depends.
Sometimes I salt and pepper all at once.
It depends on what it is. Most of the time, it is salt then pepper. But if it's rice, I pepper then salt.
Why?
I don't know.
No. Bro.
Oh,
I can't. We gotta call it, bro.
everything has a stipulation. Look, I have a logic based mind, so logically something makes sense to me a certain
Yeah.
way. Then
The
something
reason, yeah, why you're doing that, it makes sense to you. You just don't know why.
like we should just cut
So
this and make it a
funny.
whole 15-minute intro.
Oh man, daggum
Well, got
socks, bro. They just every time. Hey, remember to salt and pepper at the same time, guys. We're the Dragon's Well. Thank you guys for listening. We appreciate all of y'all's takes. Unless you put your milk in first and then your cereal, then you're a savage. All right, you're you're a wild animal.
you need help.
You need help. You need Jesus Christ in your life right now to save your souls.
Amen.
I
Amen.
mean, you
But
need
hey,
that
and
anyways.
speaking of
But
that, yo, for sure. But seriously, if like he was saying, give us a like, give us a follow, leave us a comment, prayer requests, anything like that. Just
true.
keep it all coming. We will pray for you. Hopefully, you're praying for us because obviously we need it.
We need it, man. We're listen. There is so many points of, I wouldn't say points of contention, but I definitely think that confusion has done spurred within us.
Yeah, Confucius has
Yeah,
confused us
yeah. Now this, nope. Don't say it. Don't say it, Isaac. All right. Thank you guys for listening. We really appreciate you guys very very much. Go follow us on all of the social medias that we've already mentioned. Once again, like, comment, subscribe. You know, pay us some love over there at YouTube as well. We're starting to drop a whole bunch of stuff there. And so we would love to hear your feedback on all of those things. And YouTube comments are a lot easier to get in contact with than the others.
for sure.
But we really appreciate all the support and all the love that you guys share with us all the time. And so we encourage you guys just keep sharing with your friends, coworkers, anybody that you feel like would get benefit out of this. We would love for them to be put onto us. And so we hope to grow this, uh, which with each and every episode we want to continue to give you the greatest content we can pump out. So, but we appreciate you guys. And Maverick, do you have anything else before we pray it out?
I don't think so, man. I would just say that, like he said, just leave us some comments, and we appreciate everything. If it's good feedback, bad feedback, um, if it's woke feedback, keep it to yourself.
Yeah, listen. We have thick skin. I mean, that doesn't mean like go blasting us. I mean, we still people. We don't want to purposely have our feelings hurt. But I mean, if it's something that constructive that we can work on, whether it's commentary, whether it's you name it,
Oh
our
yeah, yeah.
delivery, we would love to be able to work on it, because obviously we're trying to grow.
We're
So
human. We're not without fault. I mean, help us
true,
out. Let us know if we're doing a good job or not.
yeah,
So
sock sock, flop flop, flip flip. You know what I'm
flip
saying?
flip.
All right. Anyways, let's go to the Lord. We need some prayer.
We need some prayer.
Father God, thank you so much for today. We thank you for this podcast. We thank you for everything that it means to us as well as the listeners, Lord. We ask that you just bless each and every one of them for listening. Help them to be inspired. Uh, Lord, help them to always seek you in all of in their lives and everything that they do, Lord. We ask that your will is done in all of their lives as well. And God, we ask that you just be with us as we continue to try to grow. And Lord, we ask that you just continue to be with all of those that are on our hearts and minds today, whether it is sickness or hurt or circumstance, whatever the cause may be. We ask that you lift them up, um, and healing be upon them if it be your will as well. Lord, we love you and we thank you. And we pray all of this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Well, guys, we really deeply appreciate it. And we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Peace out.